All right, before we leave you today, a personal perspective about Fred Guttenberg, the Parkland man who called out the president Tuesday night for failing to mention gun violence in his State of the Nation address. It was about the only thing the president didn't talk about in that stem winder of a speech, which overall I thought was very effective, but deeply disappointing not to hear the president mention the scourge of gun violence, which has devastated so many communities. It certainly devastated Parkland almost exactly 2 years ago, Valentine's Day 2018. That is when a sick and twisted young man went to his former school and then indiscriminately opened fire with a semi-automatic rifle. One of the victims was 14-year-old Jamie Guttenberg, Fred's beautiful daughter. He has since devoted his life trying to get guns out of the hands of criminals, misfits, and the mentally deranged. After the massacre at Stoneman Douglas High, the president told Fred and other families and the nation that he would support universal background checks and other gun control measures to make sure that guns don't get into the wrong hands. Well, promise made, promise not kept. So on Tuesday night from the House gallery, when the president said he always would support the Second Amendment, Fred shouted out, "What about victims like my daughter?" Well, that act resulted in security escorting him out of the chamber. He says they were very nice. When they got outside, he calmed down and then later apologized for letting his emotions get the better of him. Fred, I don't think any apology is needed. Keep shouting and demanding common sense regulations on guns. There is a bill percolating in the state legislature that would close the gun show loophole. Tell your state senator representative, pass that, and tell the governor too. In 5 days, you're going to be seen reading stories on the anniversary of the Stoneman Douglas shootings. For those of us who lived through it, Valentine's Day will never be the same. But we are not powerless to act. Fred Guttenberg certainly isn't. Fred, good for you. That is my perspective for this week. Remember, as always, stay informed, get involved. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday. And you can catch any of our shows on local10.com.